Boom, look who stepped in the room. Wow, coming to the Shallon Al.
Okay.
Here we go. I think we should be on.
It says live Facebook, but okay, I got something. Something just clicked. Here we go.
Everybody should got something. I tagged everybody, so everybody should
Yep,
have got
yep.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Jay Peasy. You know how we do each and every Tuesday. I'm sorry, each and every Tuesday here for the unfiltered talk therapy. I'm sorry, bro. I was just got that going. Unfiltered talk therapy. Today we got so much to go on. I apologize for the tardiness. We had technical difficulties. We got two guests, one remote and one here in the studio with me. So I had to make sure everyone was zoomed in and clicked in. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. Take the time right now and share. We're going to talk about some real issues today. It could get emotional. We're going to talk about the state of the world today. There's so much to talk about. 2020 has kicked us in the teeth, man, has kicked us straight in the mouth. And I'm quite sure everybody here on the panel has something to say that can add to this great conversation today. So before I even get started, let me introduce my co-host. You know how we do. We got my boy. Go ahead. Let everybody know who you are. Let everybody know who you are.
This is Khayree Jannah, a.k.a. Cool Breeze, a.k.a. Jeje Poel, where Pefouet Ring, ma fini Baptiste, Jean-Pierre.
And ladies and gentlemen, our girl Mona is out once again. She had dental work. What can we say to make it funny so that this way she know that we said something? She had dental work.
She had to get a face fix.
She had to get a face fix. Her face is broken. It was too hard for her teeth.
Wow.
And he said, wow. And she will be joining us shortly. But after rave reviews, ladies and gentlemen, we got a new favorite and a classic with us. We got my girl Chocolate Shy. Chocolate Shy, what's going on, girl? Where you at?
Hey, I'm good. I'm all right, baby. I'm here.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Anything you want to say upon your intro? Like, we get an intro. Is anything you want to say in your intro? Do you have any? I'm Chocolate Shy from the Shot Town. You got anything you want to know?
You know what? I'm just chocolate shy. You know.
Okay, there we go. I'm just chocolate shy.
Keeping it real, raw, and uncut, because that's the only way I know.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, I'm chocolate shy. I keep it real, raw, and uncut. That's all I know how to do.
That's why you're one of our new favorites. That is exactly why. And Breeze have been talking about you since last week. And then we got our classic, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me tell you about this one right here. I've been trying to do a podcast with this one right here. I love her insight. I love her tenacity. She's a small girl, but God damn it, this little powder keg is a motherfucker. And I hope today she lets us know what's going on in her heart and definitely express. We got my girl Artist up. What up, Artist?
Peace, everybody.
You got any little intro that like Breeze got? Jean-Pierre,
listen, those who know me know, and those who don't, come fly with me.
Oh, shit. She got her little Nina Simone on. Here we go.
All right.
Should we start off the way we start off every week? What happened this weekend, and did we see anything?
Yeah, for sure. Because we got we need a sense of balance, because all of what's happening. So
yeah, and people definitely when we talk about movies and stuff, people hit me up and go, yo, I saw that too. So what did you do this weekend? Anything exciting? Anybody did anything exciting? Please excuse me for drinking. I have been really ripping and running around this morning. This isn't my first duty of the day. I am terribly sorry. But what have we done this weekend? Talk to us.
Well, we caught up. When I saw you Monday, with a handful of us, we had a gathering.
Oh, we letting the cat out the bag now?
Oh, my bad.
No social distancing, huh?
Yeah.
No, we were socially distant. Play some dominoes and stuff, we had a good time.
Okay. That was on Sunday, a couple of us caught up with each other, me, Breeze, Tiff, Mama Pat, and Millie and Sandy, along with my kids and my wife,
your family, and the wife.
We had a great time out at the park. We ate chicken.
We haven't seen each other in over 2 months, actually, physically.
No, longer than that. This is in March. This started in March, so that's 4 months.
Damn, 3.
Yeah, so it was definitely great to see everybody. It was great to see everyone came out to the park, and it was a beautiful day, and the park was crowded. And I busted his ass in dominoes, but that's beside the point. But
here we go.
but we had a great time. And actually, I'm looking forward to camping. And ladies, I extend that invitation to y'all. We're trying to get up a camping date. It's actually called glamping because, from what I understand, that there's hot water and there's like all the necessities. Right, all the necessities is there, but you can sleep in your tent in the lake and stuff is right there.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. When y'all talking about doing that?
Probably July, August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did anything exciting this weekend, Chocolate Shy? Anything you want to talk about?
You know what? Right now, I got so much emotions going on and just trying to process it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, I'm in a different type of mood today. I don't know. I have never felt like I feel right now. You know,
trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
The uncertainty. So excuse me today if I'm not I'm still chocolate, but it's like it's a pain I feel physically in my body. It's a pain. I can't even describe it. I wouldn't say that it's just a hurt. And I just feel it all over my body physically. And I'm not out in the streets, but I just feel just this physical pain in my body, you know, and just trying to figure out how to process
try to process it.
Yeah, you know, because I don't know how no other Black person is processing what's going on, but my viewpoint is as a mother and a grandmother, you know, and having 2 sons and 4 grandsons, you know, and worrying that at the age that my sons are, being 27, 26, and one is finna be 29. They're at an age where they think with their emotions and not think clearly, and they do dumb shit, and they dumb shit may not be forgiven. Theirs could possibly cost them their life, and how to stay in prayer and just pray for what's going on a whole different level.
Yes.
So just trying to, you know, so what I have been doing more is just praying, walking and praying, and just trying to, you know, not get swallowed with it though. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get swallowed, then you can't move. You can't. So I don't want to get swallowed. I want to get active. What can I do from my point? What can I do here? You know, I didn't cook every goddamn recipe. I know I can't cook no more. I'm tired of that. I'm even tired of eating.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna come back.
I done cooked. I done did every damn thing. You know. So it's like
everything. We definitely gonna come back. I don't want to leave. Trust me, we're coming back. This is exactly why you're on the show today, because we want to talk about that. But let's get to my girl, Artist Up. Artist Up, did anything exciting this weekend? First off, let me let y'all know, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to put you out there like this, Artist. She actually lives on the block.
Whoa.
She actually, right? Can I say it?
I mean,
she said, "Whoa." So I take that as nah.
She said, well, we're gonna word this. We're gonna word that.
She lives in a direct area.
That's all right.
Right? The direct area.
Well, I was raised in that area.
Right. She was raised in this area that was directly hit that you guys are watching on the news about New York City. She lives like I'm
in the vicinity.
She didn't, huh? Right.
She lives in the vicinity.
I'm surprised she didn't get the license plate of the guy who hit the cop with the car. That's how close she is.
Well, thank you. So yeah, I this weekend or this past few days has been pretty interesting. I've gotten some really great news and some really horrible news and experienced all in between. But I was raised in that direct vicinity, and I did go out there because I wanted to document exactly what was happening from the I wanted to document what was happening from the eyes of somebody who was raised in that community, and that would get it from a true point point of view, without any bias, right?
Okay.
And so what I found was that yes, there were youth there that were, like Chocolate Shot said, unable to express themselves without pure emotion, but that's not such a negative thing. And what it does is it brings awareness, as the title of the show, right? So what it does is it brings awareness to that. And as an entertainer, I like how Chocolate Shy said she's viewing this from a mother's point of view, right? And I am viewing this from a community leader's point of view, from a community activist point of view, from an educator's point of view, from an entertainer's point of view. And the reason why feel so blessed to be able to view this from so many different perspectives and hats that I wear is because I'm able then to document with such many different areas. So, all the great things that I was able to experience kind of got trumped when I heard my neighborhood was under attack in a way that I had only seen in movies, right? And so this is something that many people have not lived through, and definitely not in this time. And so I feel the number one thing that people need to understand is, yes, it's wrong to loot. And yes, it's wrong to break and steal. However, the reason that this is happening needs to really be out there, and it needs to be heard. And people need to know that change can happen. And so for me this weekend, these last few days, things that, went on for me was just seeing something that I personally, to that magnitude, fires being set, people being beat and almost killed.
All right. So I don't want to jump ahead. I got you. We got, like I said, we're gonna get into this. There's a lot to talk about. But this weekend, anything happened this weekend that you want to talk about?
Well, that is what this weekend. Well, I got keys to a new home. So
okay, congratulations.
Oh,
that's come on. That's
Thank
what,
you.
Good, there you go. Something
we trying to
positive.
get the good news. Yeah, something positive right now. Don't get me wrong. We about ready to jump into it.
Yes.
We are about ready to jump into it.
And I don't want to a new home, and so that's a really great.
I don't want to take nothing away from nobody, so we definitely gonna talk about that. But now here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, put your seatbelt on. How do we begin? How do we even jump in?
Just go right to it. That's
what the fair way to jump into it is, I guess, the starting point that blew this whole situation up these last 8 days, and that's the witnessing in real time the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I'm going to interject. It's not the starting point. It's the last straw.
Yeah,
that's what it is, because so many that we've literally witnessed get killed.
Yeah,
on video. Philandro Castile and a number of them.
Yeah.
That right there is literally the last straw.
Okay.
And that's which again brings everybody. Now the world is paying attention.
I know for me, seeing Ahmaud Arbery, to me, I think George Floyd, rest in peace, was another match. And we've sat at home for, since March and watching us get murdered, and they've tried to numb us with it being okay to watch us get murdered. Like on social media, if you say the wrong thing about a politician or something that they find derogatory, they will lock you out of social media. But yet it's okay for us to view a whole murder. Then they'll put up a screen and say it's sensitive to watch. But we can't speak our opinion on other areas. And I think the numbing, it was just too much. And I just think that it was like, you know what, enough is enough. Like, okay, nothing else has worked in this country. We didn't, the lowest position, the weakest position I think a man or a woman could ever be in is on your knees. And we've tried that. and we watch somebody get blackballed from not having a job to, you know, not having a career, to do the most peaceful thing is to get on your knee and not be rejected, but yet the killing continues. And it's so just these people killed that boy, and it took 2 months to get an arrest in broad daylight to even try to justify that. You know, it's just, I think Mr. Floyd was just a match on some ready to burn, because nothing else has worked in this country, and it's just so sad, you know.
Where was the well, you I'm talking to artists up now. Artists, you definitely said that Emilio Castillo and many others, Philando Castillo.
Philando Castillo, yeah.
What was
he got killed on Facebook?
Yeah,
Facebook.
live. Facebook Live.
Facebook Live. With his in front of his child in the back seat and his lady in the driver's seat holding the camera.
Yes.
That was Philando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they arrested his wife.
Yeah.
And they, you know how they always paint these pictures of you know, they try to find when you were 13 and you mistakenly took a pack of bubble gum from the store. They couldn't even, he never even had one ticket. He had never even spit bubble gum out of his mouth. They could not paint a horrible picture of him. They just couldn't. Yeah.
He worked at the cafeteria. All the kids loved him. So that tell you how docile of a person that he was. Like, all the kids love you at the school working in the cafeteria. But we just tired. I mean, the reality America has showed Black Americans, brown people in this country, that a dog has more value than your own life. So it's like, to me, until we show them that we ready to die about this, nothing is gonna change. I think sometimes, and it's painful, because I keep hearing people say, oh, we burning down our communities. These ain't even our fucking communities. What are you talking about? They gentrified us. They came in, that's why the neighborhoods are so terrible, because they do that so that the property value comes down. Then they can swoop in, they let the crime rate rise up, and then they swoop in, buy all the property in the community, and then overcharge us. We can't even afford to live there no more. So what communities did we have? We didn't have no community. The grocery stores come in the community, they charge double the price. You go into an affluent neighborhood, the quality of the food is better, the food is cheaper, it's affordable, but yet in the most impoverished areas, you all raise everything up. So what the hell community?
Okay, so let me cut in here. Let me cut in. So you said a lot. You definitely said a lot, but I want to say this. This is why it's so important to me. This one scene out of Spike Lee's Malcolm X. This is why this one scene is so important to me. When a little white woman walks up to Malcolm X and goes, Malcolm, I really love your plight and blah, blah, blah. And I really love what you're doing. Can you tell me how to join and how to help you? And Malcolm said in the most honest way, you can't. No. Right now, this fight that we are in, this war that we are in, is our war, Black people. And we have to recognize that now is the time that we come together and we find our like cause, because this beast that we're fighting, and I don't want to say white man or blah, blah, blah. Let's say beast. This beast that we're fighting already anticipated this happening. So when you burn down your neighborhoods and then all of a sudden you realize it's been rebuilt with the quickening of gentrification, because we didn't buy the burnt down building. They bought the burnt down building and they rebuilt. When you do that kind of stuff, you're aiding them. This is why it hurts me when they say, oh, you burned down that mom and pop shop. Did we really burn down that mom and pop shop, or did Target that moved in, and Walmart that moved in, and Costco's that moved in, and Starbucks that moved in, burnt down that mom and pop shop way before the fire was set? You understand what I'm saying? So this is already systematic.
This is systemic, basically.
Systemic, right.
That's what you're saying.
So when I hear people crying and blah, 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 I want to say this before we get started. I want to commend our youth. I want to inspire our youth and let our youth understand, I understand you are fighting for your life right now.
Mhm.
We got more years. I'm not saying we old and we already die, no, but they're the future. And they're on the front line for their salvation, for their years to come. And we as older people need to encourage them and inspire them to stand up and fight, because they're fighting for their lives right now. You hear me? They just took on a 500-year fight, and they're fighting for their lives. So with all that being said, man.
Well, this is all of us fighting for our lives, bro. I mean, they're part of us. I got exactly what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I got exactly what you're saying.
We are too.
But this whole thing is, it's like, the time has come. Again, there's always that last straw. You and I were talking about, remember, this weekend when I said, like, when I asked you, I said, what do you think stopped the Vietnamese War? It was television.
Yeah.
Because again, sending out troops over and so forth. Vietnam, and I'm just saying the word "our troops." America sending the troops over, and with Vietnam literally kicking ass. But aside from just the kicking of the ass, just the fact that visual,
it was visual.
What war is. So it wasn't even that bloodshed stopped it. It was the black ink that stopped the war, because now it got the world's attention. On what the hell warfare was really about, and also these young boys, these young soldiers' guts literally hanging out. All of the gory details. Hence, that's what we're experiencing once again now. And the irony is that on the heels of this pandemic, so it's like it's the 1-2 punch. That's what we're experiencing. It's the 1-2 punch, and it's really everybody's processing. And for me, like as Chocolat Shy says, I have a big task, personal task that I'm handling, and it needs my complete focus. But at the same time, I can't be an ostrich with my head in the sand with all that's going on. So it's like, okay, I'm using wisdom, because again, also with everything, we get consumed. With social media, everything we get consumed, and it's painful. And I don't, it's a matter of, okay, anything I do in participation with combating this, I want to use, I want to move with wisdom, and I want to be impactful. It's not just about running out in front of a car just to get rolled over. That's not my vision of being a martyr. You know what I mean? And I'm not necessarily saying, oh, I want to be a martyr, but at the end of the day, all those souls, all of them lives, our lives that we're seeing getting killed on TV, those are martyrs. Now it's so now what do we do? Because I love being, want to be about being solution oriented. I can think of, we all can sit here and think of some things we want to do.
Well, I know what I have been doing, because I'm one of those people. I'm about solution. I ain't about sitting up and complaining. Either you gonna change it or deal with it. It's so cut and dry in life, and that's always been my personality. I'm not finna sit up and complain. Either I'm gonna change it or I'm gonna leave it alone, and I'm not gonna have nothing to say. So what I have been doing, I have been signing petitions. I've been sharing information, because the media is a dirty game. That we live in, especially with its portrayal of us. Like, this is so big what's going on. The average Black person who is not out there, who's not watching the news, who's not staying abreast through social media outside of Facebook, they don't know other things that's going on. We have militia groups that then joined in on this.
What do you think about that? What do you think about these groups that have joined?
Listen, when the devil come to play, he ain't none of us safe. I don't know why people think if they don't do nothing that it make you safe. If your skin
what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean when the devil comes to play, no one's safe?
That means that everybody come out to play. This is an opportunity for everybody who have issues in America to use their voice. Now, whether you hate America, whether you against the government, it is all type of forces out here. And the one that Trump denounced was the one that was coming for him, like the anonymous group. They out there sharing information. Now they didn't got a hold to his records about the rape case that he was involved in with old boy. That's why he was quick to pick out one group, because they came after his ass. had a militia groups thing came out, and it's their time because they hate blacks anyway. The Aryan nations, all these people is coming out. They busting windows, they writing on the wall,
Yeah,
tagging Black Lives
yeah,
Matter. These white folks,
yeah.
this
Now
us.
I want to say this real quick. I want to say this. What you just said about when the devil comes out to play, I want to add to that in case people, like, I had to ask. So watch this. They're comrades in this war right now. We don't share the same like intent. Like, we're fighting for this cause and they're fighting for this cause, but we
Got the
have the
Yes,
same enemy. But we
Mhm.
have the same enemy. So
right.
comrades in this war have teamed up to take down a
Hmm.
greater foe.
Yeah,
You know what
but
I'm
they
saying?
ain't
Some.
teamed
Now,
up. They
now,
ain't teamed up. Because see, when team
no, no,
up,
no, no. They have teamed up on the battlefield. What I'm saying is, now watch
Some.
this. Now when,
There are
huh?
plants out there.
they
Of course,
plan.
of course,
What
of
I'm
course.
saying, when teaming up is if me and you have the same commonality in line. Okay, you share your way, I share my way. That's a camaraderie. A camaraderie is not if we gonna do the dirt, blow up stuff, right on, destroy buildings, rob, loot, and all that, and then we gonna tag your name to it. How the hell is that a camaraderie? That's
Okay.
somebody to take blame at. That's somebody to
So watch
Yeah,
this.
those are
Just
the
like
plans.
right, but
Those
just like Breeze just said that. What did you just say, Breeze? There's what in
They
here?
got plants in there. There are a lot of
Exactly.
those are
plants.
plans.
So watch
yes.
this. We understand that. You got to think about this like this. This is full scale war. There are
Mhm.
traitors on our side. There are traitors on their side. There are comrades, and this is just like any of those little shows you see on VH1 where everyone's pit up together to win the $50,000, and all of a sudden this guy teamed up with this guy, and they're sneaking in and doing this. This is exactly what's happening.
But
I don't
this is
trust.
where it gets dangerous. Like right now in
This is why I
Chicago,
said, hold on. This is why I said this is when we need to be. We we need to. We can't. We got to tell the white people, listen. This is our battle by ourselves, so we can
I kind of
easily.
disagree.
no, we
I
can't
kind
tell
of
them that
disagree
because
because we need them to extend their white
yeah,
privilege for
yeah,
us. So if that means by any means, now I understand what you're saying. Now if you don't understand the privilege that you have, well then yeah. But there are so many white people side by side with me, side by side with the people in the movement on the front lines. They need to extend their privilege, and if they
yeah.
don't extend their privilege, then they need to move out the way.
All right. So let me say this, Breeze. Me and you are on the same team, and our goal is to. I'm just saying this just for analogy purposes. Our goal is to take down Chocolate Shy, right? Now,
Okay.
in me and your fight to take down Chocolate Shy, are we mad that artist up threw a brick and knocked her down? Are we mad that she did that?
No, she's helping us. She's
Right.
even if it's
So
even she's helping us for our cause.
right. So I'm using that analogy to say this. Yes, people can help. Yes, people can put their own 2 cents in it. But until we become a team, and I'm not saying a complete black and everyone's full, until we get on one track, anything else is going to be a diversion. Like, let me ask you a question, Shah. Do you trust those cops that put down their batons and said, "We with you"? I'm gonna tell you the key word that made me not believe them. But do you believe them?
Listen, I believe that in life there's good and there's bad. We're not in a predicament that we can call a shot. See, the man who hold the gold call the rules. And in the reality, black people are so divided that we need good people no matter what uniform you
I'm
wear,
not. See,
what color
you're
you
not
wear. No,
understanding what I'm
no,
saying.
but wait a minute. Let me explain more in detail what I'm saying. Right now, we in a fight. We can't talk what we would wish it to be. You understand? We don't look in our communities. It is so many of us that are lost. So if you're gonna put a team together to fight, you gotta have warriors. Damn it, we ain't got a whole lot of warriors like that.
Right.
We fighting for the betterment of our people. So if white people who believe that this is wrong and they willing to stand, they gotta stand. But then we got some other races that's in the White House that declared war on its own people. You have a constitutional right to protest. This is in the literature that we are supposed to be led by, in this country. And if you don't follow that, you're with the lawful. You're with the lawlessness to me. That's my perception of it, that he is okay with the killing. So what I'm saying, hopefully some of those good officers, which I have seen the video, and I've seen the video of more scandalous police officer packing bricks, letting people bust and riot and all type of stuff. The good thing is we got all this stuff on video. But I think right now we're not in a position to push any allies away. We got to come through and work with what we got to try to win this fight, because we in a war. It ain't no 1, 2, 3, get ready. No, we here. It's on fire. And it's going to get worse because it has stirred up so many hate groups to now come apart. I'm talking about his goal to me was to have a race war. And this is what's going to happen, because in other cities around this country, like right now in Chicago, in certain neighborhoods with the Mexicans, they're saying Black people can't even go to those neighborhoods, that they are pulling random women, children out of cars, stabbing them up, setting the cars on fire. So this war has become way bigger than us. And I don't know how this is going to and how this is going to go, but it's so much bigger, JP. This is so deep. This right here, that's why I would call Black people who are sitting at home, is to try to share this information, because it does not help when you see Black people on social media saying, yeah, this, the loot. We ain't the only one out here looting. And do something, make some phone calls, do a petition. I'm not saying go out there, because everybody ain't made for the front line, but you can do something.
For me, what is extremely important is really understanding and having the knowledge of which communities and which neighborhoods are policed the way they're policed, are targeted the way they're targeted, and if the same thing happens from one district to another, how it's handled. And so what happened in that section of the Bronx happens to be, I will say it again, the poorest congressional district. And so what happens is that it's not policed the same, it's not protected the same. They didn't come out to protect the stores, the business owners, the neighborhood. They came out to see who they could be. And I know that sounds maybe a little far-fetched to those who want to believe that there is such a good system, but the system was not designed or created for us. And not one neighborhood can be impoverished for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years without somebody in power saying, you keep this neighborhood impoverished. It must be kept impoverished so that when we're ready to infiltrate, because that's what it is, we will be able to infiltrate with so much documentation saying, we deserve to infiltrate. We deserve to take this because you were not able to upkeep it when it was never upkept and in the first place, and was not allowed to be upkept. So in instances like that, petitions, things like that is important, but we have to understand things as simple as the census. The census is important because it says where the people live, how many people live within the community, and how many dollars will be allocated for programming, for things of that sort. It is so many things. So when you don't fill out the census, which only comes around once every 10 damn years, when you don't fill it out, then we do not get the proper monies, regardless if people know that it's a lot more money that should be allocated and given to that particular neighborhood. And when you have people in office, because it's not the president coming to your neighborhood making sure everything is okay. You hear he's talking about sending National Guards and all this stuff and martial laws in place. It is your local politicians and elected officials that is going to make sure that your neighborhood and your community is okay. Those are the ones who are going to get the laws passed to make sure that we are actually protected. So when it's like almost like if you don't talk about these things around the table, the dinner table with your children, they have no idea, and they think the president is the end all be all, and that is not the case. There are many steps before then. He is way too, I'm gonna say, put my hands up, say busy to come into your area over here and deal with Ray who got shot, or deal with this cop who killed this person and wasn't supposed to because they were no threat and there was nothing wrong. We have to understand local politics and what it means to put people in office who actually give a shit about the educational system, about what's happening in our communities, and who are actually on the front line. If you ask me, I want politicians and elected officials who's been on the front line, who understand what it is to fight the fight and actually care about the people. So people.
Quick question. I'm sorry to cut you out. You said something about what you're speaking on the politicians and getting the laws passed to protect us, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
murder's against. Hold on. Murder is against the law.
Well,
right?
Yes, it should be.
Hold on. Murder's against the law. We're getting murdered on camera.
Yeah.
Constantly. So the law that's to protect us, the politicians aren't, I mean, this thing is layered. So what you're saying is very valid.
Yes, it is.
What Chocolate Shy was saying is very valid. So this is very layered. Everybody has a responsibility. But we're in a space right now, and I'm just talking black and white. And I heard everything you say, but one thing that really resonates with me is when you're saying, in saying that, we have to put the people in position and get these laws passed to protect us. Again, no. So, and you're right, but
I know where you're going with
hold
this.
on. Murder is against the law. We're getting murdered by these racist cops for the more times than not. And these even the two guys that the father and son that killed my man and they just apprehended them, if you will.
Just charged them. They wasn't
just charged them. There you go. So
right.
The laws to protect us aren't enough in this space and time.
No, right. See, but that's the problem. There are not many people in office who actually want to protect us.
Enforce them.
Enforce. There you go.
In local seats
what she's
in
saying
your
is right.
Communities.
What she's saying is right.
It is very right. So yes, murder is against the law.
So watch this. What she's saying is, you see, you can't complain about a law if you don't help change the law that you say that is unjust. So watch this. So that law that to murder is against the law and no one is enforcing that. Well, we need those local politicians in that office that will enforce those laws. That's what she's saying. Now watch this. Now I was quiet. I've been quiet for a while. Tell me when I'm wrong. Just tell me when I'm wrong. Whenever I'm wrong, just stop me. Has history shown us that we get beat at every corner with every time this shows up? History has shown us that every time something happens, we always get beat with this.
People, we meaning people of color.
People of color, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right. We always get beat with this.
We
always sympathetically, and the empathy that we have in our spirit and our body always open up to let people in to aid us in our situation. And always comes to find out that not all, when I say these kind of things, I'm not saying all. There was many of John Browns and many of abolitionists that helped the cause. So I'm not saying all, but it's never enough to take us over the hump. Historically, that has been shown to us, right? I know there are great white people, good-hearted white people. I know that there's some great-spirited, good-intentioned white folks that are ready for the war and ready to fight with us. And that's going to my text messages on the side that I'm having with a lot of different people. Yes, I know this, but this bully, America, United States of America, right, has been bullying us as Black people. Now, remember when you were a kid and that bully kept bullying you? After a while, your mother and father said what? You have got to fight this bully.
You got to fight him.
You got to fight this bully.
Yes.
That's where we are right now. I'm not saying we don't want aid and we can't use aid from other people. Yes. But this fight is our fight that we have to walk on our own. Now, along this path, there are going to be people saying, hey, that bully's stomach is real weak. Make sure you hit him in the stomach. Hey, that bully got a weak knee. Kick him in the knee. Hey, yes. And I invite all of that. And that is definitely needed in this war. But we are so used to having people aid us and not standing up on our own. This is why I say, yes, I invite those comrades of war. Let me not say invite. I'm not saying anything about those comrades of war. That's none of my business. You welcome them. I not even welcome them. I'm gonna even put myself even more neutral than that. I don't have no say about what they do. I don't care that they blew up the target, and I don't care that they spray painted, even if they spray painted Black Lives Matter, because they have the heart to do what America has scared Black folks to do. So
but you're talking about two different types.
Hold on, Chocolate. This is an extreme war. This isn't a war that we need to be careful about, because careful has not gotten it for us in 500 years. So when the smoke clears, and this is another thing about Black folk, we need to respect all aspects of our army. There are those thug hoodlum niggas that's out there in the street doing stupidity. And there's the highly intellectual person who's in the law office doing the change. And there's those politicians that's ready to get into office. So we have the whole spectrum. But what we do is we divide each other in our own ranks. Oh, why those niggas doing that? They not out here fighting with us, but all of this is needed. All hands are needed on deck, even the ones that just donate the money and keep the war going.
Yeah.
All hands are needed on deck.
Yeah.
So when I hear stuff like this, I'm saying to myself, you guys are not thinking about the strategy of the war, and you are opening yourself up to possibilities of losing in this section. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, I know some great white cops. I know some white cops that if I call right now and say, hey man, my family, blah, 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 they'll bring everything short of money to me. Money, food, Jay, whatever you need, they got me. I know this. But I can't have you in this fight right now. You can do what you do on the side. Thank you for what you do on the side. I'm not telling you not to do it on the side, but even the gay men knew in the 60s that this fight was their fight. And that's where we are. And that's how we need to keep our focus in this fight. Yes, white people, bring me a sandwich in the middle of this in the middle of this war. Yes, bring some water and some Gatorade so I can keep going. Yes, I'm not telling you not to, but what I'm saying is we have to focus and fight this fight on our own. Now let me tell you, this is why I got into this. I heard one of those cops that put his hands up and said, look what he said. He put his hands up and said, I want to make this a parade, not a protest. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? The fuck is wrong with this guy? You want to make it a parade?
A parade?
A parade? You see, just something that simple. Something that simple. And what do we do? Yeah. I would have corrected him. This isn't a parade. There's no, we didn't win yet. There's no parade. This is a protest. This is me saying to you, crying out to you, shit gotta change. But this beast that we fight plays those games, plays those little small games with us. He gives each and every Black person a separate personal reason to fight his cause. You got a big house. You got a great job. Your family you need health care. I got you this position. So everyone has their own separate agenda why they can't fight it the same way. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that people can't help. I'm just saying right now, when are we going to say, yo, we need to get this shit together?
You know what? Black people are some of the most, I'm going to say this, to me, I see some of the most forgiving people at the wrong time. I've never seen
Can I say
such
this real quick? Can I
forgiveness.
say this real quick? Someone's asking me, be specific when I say who my enemy is. When I say who my enemy is, I don't want people to get upset with me. I'm not here to get people upset, but I'm gonna say it. And please help me. And please help me, Chocolate, and please help me, Breeze. The historical privileged, throwing the blind eye, taking from the system, white conservative. Is there more to that?
I understand what you're saying. To me, any enemy is somebody who is doing that, no matter what their color is, and especially people who look like us, because it happens so frequently. So any enemy is an enemy, somebody who knows what's happening and does nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who does nothing about what is happening is an enemy, especially people who look like us. That is an enemy. Because how dare you? How dare you feel like it has nothing to do with you, so much so that you do nothing? Like, I understand that the elders, have don't have the energy to fight, right? They don't have the energy to fight, but the youth, we do. So you pass the knowledge, and we'll take it, and we'll run with it, and we'll frontline it, and we'll be out there in the trenches with it, and we'll be. Hold on.
First off, why are you saying we?
Because I'm young.
Can I say this? You know, I've been on the front line fighting to change laws and different things like that. And one thing that I have learned in my experience from sitting at the table with governors and senators working on crime bill to do the reform for the criminal justice system, because I ran programs for felons. The fight that we are having is not with just white people. We are fighting a system that has been in place
for
hundreds of years. We have been taught to put a face to this, when the reality, just like they've been taught to put a face to what is bad, is black. What is a threat is black. And we have put a color to our pain as white, when the reality of it is the pain of what we feel is the systems that are put in place to destroy us, to hold us back. Right now, we are in a fire. If your house got on fire right now, you wouldn't have time to grab nothing. You would run because your house is on fire, unless it was small enough that you felt like you could put it out, that you would stop and try to save your materials or what's important, family heirlooms, or grab the fire extinguisher and put this shit out. It's choices. Right now, we are in a fire, and it's coming from so many different directions, because there are some people that are truly on the front line fighting for justice in America, the equality of being black and not have to get murdered on camera and question whether the hell you right or you wrong. So what we fighting here is the systematic changes that's which is in racism.
Exactly.
It is not against certain white people that may not do.
Why are you afraid to stand on your own and fight this fight? Why do you? I'm asking. Listen to the question. Why are you afraid to stand with your own and fight?
First of all, I've been fighting. I just said that I've been on the front line. This ain't my first go around with social change of what's going on right now in 2020. I've been in the fight and on the front line of change. What I'm saying is this fight in solidarity, we are not in a predicament. Look at our people. We fucked up. Black people, we traumatized. What army do you see that we got equipped that we don't need no allies? We got to push people away. We got to fight like this. We do need to fight. But you trust
these allies around you?
What I'm saying is,
do you trust these allies around you?
Listen, it's some black folks that I don't trust.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We're gonna get to that part. We're gonna
we're
get to
not
that
all
part.
on the same agenda. We all don't have the same agenda. We do so much inner fighting against one another. Black women and black men hate one another.
Yeah,
Because
and
of what we hate each other, and it's so embedded in us. So how the hell you telling me that we gonna fight when we don't even fucking like each other? Huh? What is harm yet?
So now let me ask you this now. So we don't like each other. So the best thing to do is to look outward and see who can help me.
No, that ain't what I'm saying.
Let me interject real quick, because he mentioned about trusting.
Carolyn.
He mentioned about trusting allies and so forth. All right, and as we all agree, this is war. Now, not only are we witnessing our own getting killed visually on camera, we're also witnessing so many of our own just standing around with the camera while we're getting killed. And I remember seeing, this was like last year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe last year, year before, there was another case, police brutality. Some of you may have even seen this video. Cops was beating down this dude, and it took this young white boy. He ran up and snuffed the cop and so forth. Now, they started scrapping, whatever the case may be. So like in that space and time, your life is on the line. You're about to die. You want help from any and everybody. Our lives are on the line. We are dying. I'm not turning away no help. I'm not depending. I myself, let me finish. I'm not totally depending, like what JP said, I got to depend on him in order to fight. No. That's not what it's about. My viewpoint, I'm not turning away the allies. Because like I said, on a very basic level, how many of us are getting killed in front of each other? Now, it was, to be very honest, just the other day, before they burnt the day of or whatever, before they burnt down the precinct in Minneapolis, I believe it was in either Ohio or Minneapolis, when in the hood, there's a video of this girl, she's like, yes, kick their ass. Folks in the hood were fighting them cops back. Now, no, it could have went left. They could have all got shot up, but the point of the matter is enough is enough, and they're fighting, they're fighting back. It's hell to sit there and you watch one of us getting apprehended and then getting brutalized, then getting killed, if anything, and all of us standing around watching. That cannot happen in a Jewish neighborhood.
And this is why.
I'll be goddamn, I don't care how many cops. Let them try and go hem up one of them Hasidic Jews. You see what happened. They gonna all try. Shit, didn't they storm and march into a precinct a few years back when that whole thing was going on? And yes, there's a different level of privilege.
Because they have unity and privilege.
Hold on. Of course, there's a different level of privilege, but also too, and a number, of course, they have the unity, but also too, there's a point where it's like, you know what? They willing, like you said earlier, we got to be willing to die.
Got to be willing to die.
We do. And so the young white kid that you mentioned who punched the officer in the face, see, here's the thing. He felt no fear from, he felt no consequences.
Okay.
Hold on. He understood the privilege of his skin. And so, yes, when we say extend your privilege, we mean to that extreme, extend your privilege.
Yeah.
The reason I saw the video of the girl who recorded Mr. Floyd, George Floyd's what was happening. First of all, you never think it's gonna end in a murder, that somebody's gonna die. You don't think you're recording a death. You think you're documenting, because unfortunately, even on an officer's body fucking cam, when they murder us like pigs, they don't get prosecuted and nothing happens. So when you have the community documenting, it is for a greater cause. So I'm sure that she said she was afraid. She was nervous. She was scared. She didn't even, she said, I was just going to the store with my cousin or my friend. I was literally, we just came out to go to the store, and that was happening. And she said, I felt like I had to do this. And she did. If she didn't, there would be no uproar, because we wouldn't get the real story.
We wouldn't even know. And
I don't want my point to get lost.
Hold on.
She was 17.
So when we are documenting that way, because I had a situation like that not too long ago, where I was looking for parking, and these young people were waiting for the fucking bus, and these cops rolled up on them, and they started to commence to whipping this guy's ass, who just kept screaming, I am just coming from work from Queens, I'm just waiting for the bus. They rolled up on him, beat the shit out of him, and I heard punch. I said, what is this? I looked to my left, and they're beating this guy. They were just waiting for the bus, literally. Okay. And so I went over there and I recorded. Now, did I go and punch the officers in the face? No, because it would have been one less person from the community, and they have no idea most of the time who is doing the documenting. You don't know how heavy and deep I am in my community, and how far to the lengths I will go after that. I made it very clear to a community activist and leader, Shaniqua Charles, what happened. And they organized within less than an hour, a 10-year-old organized within less than an hour to go and find out what happened to that young man. I made him say his name on the camera so we could find his people and his folk. We Googled him. We found out who his family was. And they went to the precinct where we suspected that they took him to, and made sure that he was released. And that is why documenting is so important. Sometimes we don't.
No, I think you're missing my point. You're missing my point.
One thing I said,
let me finish, JP. You're missing my point. I'm not saying not to document and see all of the legwork that you're talking about that you just did. That's the level that's needed. Like you said, you're not going to go and jump in a fight because there'll be one. No. But do what the bottom line is that do what it is that you can do to be effective and impactful.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's not what. So don't miss my point. Don't miss my point.
No,
my point is, hear me out. My point is this: with regards to allies and not pushing away allies and so forth, because at the end of the day, in that very moment, that one of us are getting beat and so forth, and we never, documented. We don't know if it's going to end in death, but how many times has it ended? How much more do we need to see to know and recognize that it's a high chance of it ending in death?
Can you tell me one thing, though, Breeze? Tell me this. When did I say push away our allies? When did you hear me say?
No. I didn't say you said that, bro. I didn't say. I'm not even implying that. Well, what I was saying, what you were saying was, and tell me if I'm wrong. Look, don't solely depend on this is our fight. We got to be in this shit. We can't sit there and
we need to get in our huddle and mend those that need to be mended. And watch this. A towel boy can come. Thanks for that towel. But he can't get in this huddle with us. You see, this is what I'm saying. You're
talking about the strategizing and the whole nine, whatever the impact.
Now watch this. Now in this huddle, there's a nigga in here who don't want to be here. There's a nigga in here that works for the opposite side. There's people in here that's gonna bail out. All of this is in the huddle. So if this is already in the huddle, why am I inviting more possibility?
So let me ask you this. With us being in a fight right now, what's the plan? What's the solution to get people to the table? If you look around on Facebook, you'll see some even entertainers that are not sharing no information.
You know how you get them to the table?
How?
These wild radical acts that are spurring up, that's not even from us. Them wild sporadical that got CNN locked, they're now listening. Let me tell you what they did. They put the indigenous Indian on TV to try to appeal to our sympathy and empathy to stop this bullshit in Minnesota because this is sacred land. I could not believe that this Indian fixed her mouth to say y'all are fighting on sacred land. Sacred land that the precinct is on? Sacred land that white man shot you from and took from you? This ain't no sacred land. This beast that you're fighting is going to throw everything at you. So the only thing that I can really, as I turn on CNN and watch the other day and watch black folks sing, lean on me, when they know they want you to sing that lean on me. You hear me? They'll listen, Nike gonna drop a new sneaker that can help you walk a little bit more. This beast knows this.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I can trust is that hopefully the people in my huddle can come to an agreement to how we're gonna go out and get. Oh wow! Keep on the football analogy. How we gonna get on this turf and get our touchdown? There's gonna be help along the way. There is going to be help along the way. They're gonna be comrades that's gonna join the fight because we're going in that direction. And I'm not saying refuse them, but what I'm saying is we have to heal one another. You know, the insecurities that black men and black women have? What white man can give us anything? If a white man gave us something right now, me and you, Chocolate, and me and you, artists, we gonna fight for what he gave us because I don't trust you and you don't trust me. Now I want more than this because I'm supposed to. No, I was out and I did this. So we need to heal one another. So we need to be able to look at each other. It hurts when I look at you, Chocolate. It hurts when I look at you, Artist Up. It hurts because there is insecurities. There are wounds between us. These wounds weren't we didn't do this. These wounds were embedded in us. This beast that you fight did that on purpose.
That's a fact.
So that we can't ever come together and we're going to always cry, can you come help me? Can you come help me? No, let me and you help. So that, let me give you an example. When people are in a relationship and they go through a horrible time and they still stay together, they're that much stronger. They're that much stronger. So I'm not saying that we don't need help. Yeah, we need help, but I need to be able to talk to you first. I need to.
I get you on that first. I get that.
So how do we start uniting each other? Because we got to get to the bottom of what we finna do and come up with a plan, an action.
Right. Now watch this. Now we're fighting a multi-head fight right now. In the midst of all of the, we're fighting a really because I haven't even brought in COVID. But
wow,
we're fighting a really multi-head beast right now, because while those comrades of ours that are doing that wild radical shit over there and forcing the card of these white people to put our agenda on Front Street that we're not ready for, we're not ready the way they're doing it, bro. Right now, this shit is being fast tracked. You hear me? Because they want to shut us up and get on with the rest of time. Let me tell you something right now. Oh. I may get shot for this type of shit I'm about to say. They'll never agree to it being systematic racism. Oh, they're gonna preach it to you. They're gonna preach that shit to you. They're gonna beat you in the head with it. Yeah, it is systematic racism, but they'll never be ready to pull back the layers of systematic racism, and they'll never document and say this is systematic racism. You know why? You know why?
I do.
The second they say
they gotta pay.
The second, say it again.
They gotta pay, and of course they ain't gonna do that.
They got a 5-year 100 debt to pay.
Yeah, that's what the reparation.
The second they say yes, systematic racism does exist in this country. When you brought us over on the boat and you beat us, that's when that bill started. They can't pay that debt. So they're going to keep giving us the runarounds. They're going to keep giving us this. That's why, like the Artist Up said, we got to fight on a local level to put those people in office that's going to change my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so then we got to weed out at a certain point, not weed out. Let me not say weed out, because I love all Black people in all the spectrums we come in. We have to educate those that aren't educated in the areas that they need to be educated on.
You was right, weed out. Some people don't want to be educated.
No. See,
some people really don't want to be educated.
This is a part of the insecurity that we have. That's not his fault. That's not his fault that he doesn't want to be educated.
It comes to a point
That's
where
not his fault.
To a point where
he has been breaded. He has been breaded to feel that way.
And some people will never change. Some people will never change. There is a black man somewhere right now. Wait, listen. There is a black man somewhere right now, who sees everything that's happening, has seen everything we've seen. Even maybe some of his family have been a victim of this senseless hate. And listen. So
I'm listening to you.
Hear. And he has been even a victim himself. And he will say, well, that's because they don't educate themselves. Well,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
He will be the one, to be put in front of the camera so that the masses can say, oh, well, it's the black people that have the problem.
That's your fucking cop out. That's your fucking cop out. Because guess what?
That's a fact.
No, and that's your fucking cop out too. That's your cop out too. Because everybody can be reached. No, I'm not going.
That's like saying that you can change. That's like saying that you can change an old racist white man thoughts about what his opinion.
To give up on my own people.
I didn't say give up.
You did.
I didn't say
you
give
did.
up.
You just said you did. You just said
weeding out.
Right.
Weed out.
Ain't no such thing as listen.
It is.
We
Everybody will not fight this fight that looks like us no matter what. They mama could be killed by police.
Do you know why?
And they will say,
we got proof.
Harriet Tubman could do weed out on your own. The Nick and Damon Dash said Damon Dash said this shit. The nigga you have to worry about is the nigga who feels like he's not getting what he's supposed to get in this crew. So everybody has to be educated. Damon Dash didn't weed out people. He hoped that one day, even the guy who was selling the t-shirts at the concert became a promoter.
No, that's different.
The
person who's selling the t-shirts at the concert understands business, and he very well could be, but the person on
there's no such thing as agreeing to disagree. Agreeing to disagree is a cop out to find a solution.
The person looking though at the person selling the t-shirts at the concert saying he's a bum and he's selling t-shirts because he never understood anything is the person who will not change that view.
Okay, so listen to me.
So I'm not saying, when I say weed out, when I say, yeah, you're right, you could say weed out. I'm not saying personally say you, no, not you. Yes, and in hopes everybody will come along for the fight.
Let me interject. Let me interject.
Who are not able to be educated, I'm not going to keep fighting and saying, please take this information, take it.
The point she's coming from is Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm freeing everybody, and all of a sudden, hold on, let me finish. We're going Underground Railroad. Whoa, you're not coming? All right, load up the shotgun. Bah! Gotta go. Let's go. Everybody go. So I hear both of y'all points right there. And from that perspective, that's where it's at.
That's like, now that you said that, now watch this. I can agree. But now let me ask you this now. At what level do we start shooting?
Well, this is the thing. Right now, we ain't,
At what level do you shoot them?
Listen, in life and some people gonna be left behind. You can't make people be where they not at. I know black folks on my social media page that's Trump supporters. So, and if you at this age and right now with what's going on, if you just said those that want to be left behind will be left behind. We didn't do it. Now watch this. You see the wording? We didn't do it. They did it. So, but that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be a lot left behind.
If this, yes.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot left behind.
If this train pulls out and you're not ready, and I've extended my hand and this train pulls out, you missed the train.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with that. But I'm not gonna tell the train, hey, just leave them.
No, right. That's not what I'm. Of course not.
That's
That's not what she's saying.
That's what this sounds like.
Hear me out. The reason why Harriet Tubman had to shoot them is because they know about the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
And the fact that they not with it, they're gonna give away the secret to prevent the thousands.
And it's not that they're going to; it's the possibility that they might.
No, they going to.
They going to.
Either way.
Look, we got people.
I'd rather you say that, Bree. Say it again.
Either way.
I mean, we got those people right now in office that didn't show you their hand. What are you talking about? We got examples. We got proof. What we're talking about is proof. There is some people that hate the color skin that they were born in. They hate and want to belong so bad.
You don't think that's a disease?
Nothing.
You don't think that's a mental illness?
That's a conditioning.
It's a mental illness.
The conditioning has worked.
That's the conditioning.
We got proof.
It's a conditioning.
Like the people who bleach their skin.
Yes. Keep going.
Who perm their hair.
Yes.
Who just don't even have any. Who won't date a black man or a black woman. Who think I just think that it is so simple you do not like yourself because of the color of your skin, or you do not like me because of the color of my skin. How immature and idiotic can you be? And then to make fake to make social constructs to where these things are not fucking real. It is like a border that doesn't exist. It's
Delusional.
like it's delusional, and it is so much in place and so ingrained in the fucking cement that people don't understand that there is, yes, a bulldozer that can get to it. There is, yes, a bulldozer that can get to it. So yes, it's ingrained, but motherfucker, just love yourself.
Part of this war that we're fighting presently today has been taught and bred to us 500 years ago when they started bringing us over here.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that we're regurgitating right now is almost, I want to say, textbook to what they thought was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They thought out, what if they say this, or what if they say this, or what if they start feeling like this? How are we gonna fight them if they start thinking like this? Oh, we got to be able to fight them if they start thinking like this. So all of this strategic talk that we're having right now, this beast already thought of that.
Of course.
This is what. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I say to you. This is why I say we need to. This is our fight. This is our fight on our own. But this is why I also say to you, you can't. They're hoping that at any cost, some part of this war will be weakened on our own.
Mm.
They're hoping that we weaken our line.
We will sabotage. We will sabotage.
That's the word I was looking for. We'll sabotage ourselves. You see, the surprise to them. Tell me if you ever been, Breeze, I know you have. I know you, what I'm about to say, I know you have. Have you ever been around a white person? Oh, I'm sorry. Have you ever been around the beast? And when you start talking sense, and when you start talking truth, they ridicule your train of thought to the point where they juvenile your thinking, your talk. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like a manipulator.
Yeah.
A manipulator.
Sounds just like
so what I'm saying to you is this: they planning for you to leave someone behind, but they're not planning for you to get your shit together.
Yeah.
And it's a painful uphill battle. But right now, this plate that they're about ready to throw on us of, okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, okay, black folk, okay, calm down. We calm these radicals down. We're going to give you this this systematic racism. We're going to give you this. What do you want? I don't trust what Nicole going to say. I don't trust what Chocolate Shot. I don't even know what that nigga, listen to me. I don't even know what that nigga Breeze want. Let me tell you what I want. Let me tell you what I want. Let me tell you what I need. Let me tell you what my circle needs.
But you see, this is, to me, okay, you see the lady who called the police on the gentleman in the park, right? Now, listen to what I'm going to say. I don't really watch much television. Luckily, I was able to see this man get this CNN interview, and his response, even the caster who was, put him on to the screen, even the caster, he didn't say anything, but the whole time his face was looking like, I cannot believe this man is saying this. Like I said, when we first started, we so fucking forgiven for all the wrong reasons. He's sitting up, this lady tried to have him murdered. You call the cops on an unarmed black man talking about there's an African American trying to attack me. Bitch, he wants you to put the leash on the dog. He got up there and was like, well, no, I don't know how this spiraled out of control. I don't know what's such the big deal, and the newscaster said, what? He said, you don't know how it's such a big deal? He said, no, well, I wasn't in hopes of her coming on the show with me, but I know she's probably getting messages and death threats, and that's uncalled for. She tried to kill you, bro. And this is in Central Park. First of all, Seneca Village, which we own, that they burned and took from us. Let's not even talk about the natural place of Central Park and what it really was. Seneca Village, look it up. But for me, it's like, we have to stop being so forgiving. And they will put somebody like that on screen, a man.
And passive.
Yeah.
Passive.
They will put it
Yeah.
on the screen to say, "Oh, well, I'm so forgiven," just like that lady who followed the man in the condominium building and was following him to his apartment. But you don't live here. But you don't live here. He said, "Well, do you own the building?" "No, I live here, but you don't." "Why do I have to tell you where I live? Why are you following me?" She lost a job. He got on the screen. "Oh, I wanted to get a job back. Oh, she shouldn't have to lose her job." Do you know she would have had you murdered? They will kill you and ask questions later. Brianna, they went up in her house for a warrant of people who didn't live there for over 3 damn years, and then arrested her husband when he tried to defend, as we have the right to bear arms.
So let me ask you a question. So him helping her get the job back is him having that sympathy in his heart of letting her back in.
Well, I don't think she got the job back.
No, I'm
but
just saying,
he wanted her.
Just his plea.
And he was saying, it's always this apologetic. No,
Right, his plea.
It's Rodney King. Can we all just get along?
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
Right.
What you just said right there. But you know what? To me, I think
say it again.
It's Rodney King. Can we all just get along?
Can we all just get along? That same mentality, and we have those type of black people that they put in power that's willing to get on their knees and say, "You know what, Master, you did wrong, but I forgive you."
And that's how we stay divided.
That mentality is what has kept
Breeze,
us.
listen to this, Breeze.
Yes,
listen to this, Breeze.
That's how we stay divided, because it makes people look at us
Breeze.
and say, "Well, you're not doing that bad. It's you that's not doing the work, because this guy over here got a house with a wife or a kid and a car and a job or a career." No, motherfucker.
Hold on, artist. Breeze. Is this not what I said already?
I can't hear anything.
Huh?
He's saying he can't hear you.
I don't know. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Breeze. We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Breeze.
All right, I can hear. I can hear you now.
We can hear you better.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Is she not saying the same thing I said about allowing other people in our fight? You see, the same thing I said.
I think I missed part of what she said.
Okay,
though.
she's saying that and this is the beauty of us as Black people. We have very big hearts, and we're very empathetic and sympathetic, and we love. That's in our nature. We love.
We need to stop that.
We need to.
Yeah, that's what got us here. That's what got us here in the first place.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is, huh?
But that's a part of the plan that they did. They numb you. When you become numb, you don't feel no more. And it is this sympathetic thing of being so forgiving. And I was outraged. I'm with you. I was pissed off when I seen that commercial, when I seen him on there forgiving her. And what she did, it wasn't even just about calling the police. She went into a fear mode that she put in her voice, as if something was actually happening to her in that moment to get him murdered. Like my life, it's a difference to call the police and report something. It's something different when you change your voice up and you put fear in your voice, because you was trying to stimulate them to come quick, and come with guns ablaze. She knew exactly what she did. Exactly. And for you to get on television and, we forgive her. She didn't even apologize. Wait, we are so forgiving because America has numbed us up to the pain. We don't feel nothing no more. And then when you say something, you become the angry Black person. You the angry Black woman because you got a fucking opinion, and then we turn around and do it to each other.
Exactly. That's exactly what Jamani said. Jamani Williams said.
Listen, I had another comedian tell me, I did a live and I was talking about what's going on in this country, and they told me, "You're oversharing." How the fuck am I oversharing when this is about my people? This affect me. George Floyd could have been one of my sons. It would be something wrong with me not to feel something in this fucking moment. So I dare you to tell me not to feel. That's what we have done to each other. And they keep putting these docile ass Black people as a representation of how the fuck we feel in the community. You got the wrong nigga because he don't feel like I feel. I'm
Exactly.
tired of us being murdered. I'm pissed off, and I should be enraged because
Exactly.
it would have been my son. But we keep putting these docile ass black people who done turned they fucking feelings off because they don't know what the fuck to feel. They
And
don't know how to feel no more. They done become numb. Well, I'm not numb, and I still
exactly.
feel. And I'm gonna tell it how it is. And I ain't gonna lie about it. We gonna talk the truth. And I ain't finna forgive nothing that ain't fixed. How can we fix something or me forgive you when we ain't fixed the problem? What
Mm.
the hell is you apologizing for? Because this has become normal for you all to do that. So I don't want to hear your apologies because it's ineffective because you don't mean that shit. You saying what you need to say to get through what you getting through at that moment. But you are not sorry. You meant exactly what you done. Your
You meant
intention
to turn this
was that.
protest into a parade.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then if you say something about it, JP, then you know what? Here come these happy other Negro. You know what? Y'all shouldn't be saying that. You know, how the hell? That's what I'm saying when I say we don't have. We got a lot of work
Do I
to
talk
do.
with too much aggression? Do I talk with too
It's
much
okay to talk with aggression. You talk
Because
with passion. You
because
talk with
because
conviction,
everything
like
I
you
said
believe
at the
what you
beginning of this
say.
conversation, you two are now saying.
Nobody disagreed.
We didn't disagree with
No,
what
no,
you
we're all saying the
said.
same thing a different way. Nobody,
Exactly. That's
nobody.
exactly what it
I
is.
got you.
We're
Those
all saying.
But I'm gonna tell you
those
something.
black people that they put in the screen for the masses to see and go off of, those are like the band-aids that America
Yeah,
is using,
yeah,
right?
to
Wounds
make them feel
are so
better.
big that a band-aid won't go. So it's going into the wound. It's not even trying to cover it up. And at this point, we're tired and we are regurgitating those band-aids all up and out on America. And they just can't believe that we finally are standing ground. It's like when a baby takes his first steps. It's like, oh wow, look at this. They can't believe it. It's like
There was a
You know what it is though, and I'm gonna tell you, when 2020 came in, and I prayed on this because I think a piece that we have not talked about in none of our conversation is the spiritual aspect of this. No matter what nobody else is believing in, as far as religion, but it's a spiritual aspect to this as well. First of all, 2020 is a year of vision. See, 2020, when you go to the doctor, that means that's your vision, how you see. And to me, 2020 has changed our vision. And that's what it was about. That's why it's happening in the year 2020, because it's time for our vision to change, how we view things to change. That's what 2020 is. That's your vision.
I have been preaching.
We have become so relaxed and at everything that has happened. We have become so relaxed as a people because a lot of us have to assume that we've made it, that America ain't racist no more. And now we are getting to see with our own vision that nothing has changed since the 60s. Nothing. And what Trump did is to let them know we can go back to the system. I wouldn't be shocked if I turn on CNN and see people getting hosed down because that's where we at. So whether you want to fight or not, you're going to be forced to make some decision here real soon. Every day that you decide to go out your house, you're going to be forced to make some decisions and we're all in it.
Yeah, I agree.
But this is about vision.
2020
it's a
is
spiritual thing going on. But if you read your Bibles too, these times were up ahead. We just didn't forget about it because we didn't got so separated, especially Black people, on what the spiritual aspect. All of this was written. It's time. It is time. And I'm gonna tell you something. What I've seen in my 49 years on this planet, every time you have said destruction for one set of people, be careful the grave that you dig for them because it'll be the grave that you fall in. This system is about to crumble and people are now willing to die about it. So whether you choose to sit on the sideline, whenever you walk out that door, your house or where you reside, you in a fight and your life on the line, whether you know it or not, whether you want to join or partake. This is it. We at it. This is what's going on. This is where we're at. So we gonna have to be forced to come together. And it's crazy because I always felt like in order for Black people to come together, the time that we're living in, that we were going to be forced to come together. And that's what's happening. We are being forced to come together. It's going to be a united that we've never seen. These next coming days ahead of us are going to be something that we will never forget, because it's not stopping. This is not stopping. This is war that we are at. So I would encourage anybody, whatever your spiritual beliefs, tap into that too, because we got some real things going on. And I had a feeling from when the year first came in, I kept feeling this unease, and it was like, pray more, and I kept feeling like, why am I keep being directed to pray more? Let it go. It reminds in the story in the Bible when the plague came and he told everybody to mark your doors, so the death will go past your house. We are at that point, and ready or not, this where we at. This where we at.
And that's what I keep telling people.
Can't disagree with anything you said, hon. It's so true.
Thank you, Carolyn.
It is so true.
Thank you, Eve. Carolyn and Eve, thank you so much for hanging out with us. My man Dave Peterson is in the building. Big shout out to my man Black Words, the poet, is in the building. We have plenty of other people in the building. The conversation is doing great, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't be afraid to put in the text what you feel, how you feel, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to get to a little bit of everything. I knew that this conversation was going to be heavy, and I was consciously making an effort to be quiet and do more listening, because I definitely want to hear other people's point of views so that I don't feel like I'm out here just wilding. And what I learned in this last hour and a half is that we all are feeling the same way. We all, and I'll put it to you like this too, because as we touched on, like everybody in whatever capacity is needed. Like, with Chocolate Shy talked about petitions, and all of us, everybody praying, and even with Artists Up, when you're talking about, from the political viewpoint, and like, those extra efforts in isolated cases to make amends for it. And again, also to the young soldiers as well as the older soldiers that are on the front line. I mean, we got to move with wisdom too.
Yes.
We have to, because this, as it's been stated earlier, this war is so much strategy in it, especially when you talk about, the plants that are in place. And, like you'll have this white person disguised, have on all black and spray painting, it's, whether it be a peaceful march intended, but this one person goes and spray paints this. And so when the cops come, they're not getting at him or her, they getting at those of us who are colored. I mean, so we really got to move methodically. We got to move with wisdom. We have to move with purpose. So again, each and every one of us on every level is needed, and everybody, as you stated earlier, JP, I don't know if you're talking about just the show, but more so like with regards to being quiet, all this stuff happening, and we see what's coming about, and I'm like, ironically, not even ironically, but it's on the heels of this pandemic. This feels like phase 2 or phase 3 of whatever plan was put in place. And hence, any excuse, it's like, what it's like? It's like I got this crazed dog on the end of my leash that's ready to maul any and everybody. So I'm just waiting for the right signal to cut this dog loose.
Well, we already got that signal. He already said it. He said it at the podium last night. The devil said that he trying to turn the whole narrative around from protests to looters, thieves, and robbing, and it's at us. When he said loot and we'll shoot, that means that he has declared war on the people. And that's why every one of us is finna be affected in ways that we never thought. I am gonna tell this too. And people might disagree, but I'm going to say it because that's who I am. Every Black woman in America, if you don't have no criminal history, you need to be going to get a gun. And I'm going to tell you why. You cannot wait on nobody else to come and save you. We are at war, and you need to be able to protect you and your family.
They've already sissified half the black men.
Yeah,
They've already
but
sissified
anybody
them.
black
Then they
who
locked up.
can get a
Then they
weapon.
locked up another large percentage.
Yeah,
And then they separated us and have us disagreeing with one another to get another percentage out, which leaves you black women, the queen,
by
the
yourself.
the one who rejuvenates the earth,
Yeah,
all by yourself. And then he
yep,
also tempted you with,
yep,
yeah, yo, listen, finances, whether it be if that black man ain't in your house, we can give you this welfare, or if this
yeah.
black man all of a sudden says, hey, I want to take care of you. Either way, we have to find ourselves back to one another.
And we got to. And black women, it is our job right now to stop down in the black men. We got to come together and love on one another. If you ain't got nothing good to say, hold your tongue. Oh, this is not the time. And if you ain't got no criminal record, I don't know. Hey, you need to get something to protect yourself. When you go out to grocery stores, here on out, you got to look and pay attention. Put the phone down, pay attention to what's going on around you, because your life is at stake.
Yes.
And if you think that you is okay to just do nothing and sit here, you do that if you choose to. But I tell you, your life is just as at stake as if you was on the front line as anybody else, because this affect you because your skin color, and you can't outrun that. So you in the fight too.
You know, I listen to these guys. I listen to these videos about how the women's rights movement had nothing to do with black women, and they just
the feminist. You mean the feminist movement?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to start some shit today, huh, JP? Yeah. You really wanted to, because I'm gonna tell you something. That wasn't our fight. Me and a white woman ain't never had the same struggles in this country. And what that did was divided our household, where we started degrading our men. And that's one of the reasons of black women need to take accountability too for. Because I'm gonna tell you something, it goes back to the 60s. We were never involved in the same fight. Supposed to be for voters' rights. We still fighting for our damn rights to vote in 2020. So how the hell was the women's rights about us, when the very thing the fight was supposed to be initiated for was for women the right to vote and all of these things? But what we forgot is white women still upheld their men. They can know that he's a rapist, he's a sodomizer, and they'll still go vote for him. And they did it in record numbers. White women is what got Trump in office. And they knew what he was, they knew what he did, and they still went and vote for him. Because you know why? If they man ain't shit, they still love on him. What we do, we down eyes, talk about him and everything else, and we don't love him no more. Every black man is not responsible for what happened to you in your childhood. Every black man is not responsible for the man that you picked in your life. So if you got a hate against a black man, you better drop it now, because that hate you passing on to your son. When you say his daddy ain't shit, you then directly told him he ain't shit.
Hold on.
So you better stop it and stand up, because we in a fight. And if you ain't gonna love on him, don't destroy him. And your power is in the tongue and what you say. Some of us ain't been upright too, and we all done made mistakes. So we got to stop the hate against the black man, because we need him. We need him back on the front line. We need him to know that regardless if you don't have no money, you still want it. We still need you. You still a king. We got to change this.
So many of them saw beauty in us.
I see beauty in black women.
Yes. But so many don't. So many really, really don't. And
once again, that's a
so many of who don't see. I'm sorry. So what is the artist up saying? So many of who? What?
Many black men don't see beauty in black women. But once again, that's a part of the That's a part of the brainwashing.
True. No, it's
true.
It's
a
part of the brainwashing.
Yeah.
And we do. Let me tell you something. Just in the emotion that not the emotion. I'm quoting a line from Sean King. Sean King is someone on the internet who's got great wisdom, and I like hearing him talk sometimes. Sean King said, "We as black people speak on a different frequency than anyone else."
Yes.
And there's no one who understands my frequency than my black women.
Yeah.
See, what they think as aggression, I see as passion.
Yes. Yes.
What they see as anger, she's
Mhm.
just determined.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you say black men don't see the beauty in black
Not
women,
all, but a
right,
lot.
right, of course not all. Yeah, we definitely mean not all.
We
There's
traumatized.
we're
Of course.
traumatized.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
there is
We
You know,
there is
traumatized.
no one better fit for a black man than a black woman.
Yes, but we have suffered so much trauma,
Yeah.
and we have bottled it up, and we use that trauma against us. You may sin differently than I do, but I sin too. So I can't hate you because you exemplify your trauma differently than I do mine. We've been traumatized. So how can I belittle you when I didn't suffer the same trauma you have? You might
Yeah.
do differently things with your trauma, but I can't hate you because we come from the same trauma. And
Yep.
that's
Yes.
what's wrong with us. We have not been taught to vocalize and get that out. So we let it rest in our spirit, in our actions, in our
Yeah.
movement, and we turn it to bitterness. Instead of getting better, Black women have become bitter, and we got to nip that out because we have to remember our place, that we are the chosen women. We are strong. We are powerful. We breathe life into
Yeah.
men.
And
We
we
have
put
the
the
power to
life
breathe
in
life,
you.
you know? So
Yes, that's
we
true.
That too.
we
Well, I'm
just
gonna say,
been traumatized.
I want to say one thing real quick too.
Yeah, and
And
we almost got to close this out. Come on.
yeah, I'm gonna say something real quick with
Powerful,
regards
powerful.
to the seed of dissension, and it's so subtle that we have to pay attention. Now, artists, like after everything that Chocolate Shy was saying, you know, Artists Up, you made a comment, and this is not a shot at you. I'm not coming at you, so don't take it that way. But because of the history and the challenges that we're dealing with, it's like on the heels of what she said, you know, it's like something triggered, and you're saying, but we don't, as Black men, you know, don't love you or you know, our women and so forth and so forth. That right there is part of the behavior that we have to be aware of, because again, like you said, we are all traumatized.
The Black
And
woman is the
so,
most unprotected woman on earth.
hold on. What I'm saying to you is that initially, right, with if you can actually grasp hold of what Chocolate Shy was saying,
Of
and
course.
see, and if you see it as truly valid, what she's saying, if you see that and feel that in the pits of your gut, then your immediate reaction shouldn't be Black man don't love the Black woman. You know,
Right.
and I'm not, now hear me out. I'm just saying it black and white. I'm not coming at you personally. So, but that's such a huge part of the challenge
Let me ask you a question,
that,
Breeze.
that we face.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
You ever been punched in the face before?
Yeah.
You ever been
And I
smacked?
punch back.
You ever been smacked?
Yeah.
What happens when you see someone beginning to smack you again?
Oh, I brace up. I'm bracing.
Right. Now, Artists Up just simply braced up because she's
She
been
reacted.
smacked. Right. So
Yes.
so her reaction just now isn't to down Black men.
I know that.
What you just witnessed is her brace up and go, hey, what do you mean? Hold on, whoa.
No.
This goes back to what I said about how we need to heal one another.
Yes. And the reason why, the only reason why I'm pointing it out, it's not at her. It's to confirm what you're saying. It's literally
confirm the
no,
action.
yeah. It's literally because what happens is, like I said, it's you know what Chocolate Shy was expressing, for example, and you know she went deep and so forth, and you know in the midst of, like, even for example, let's just say, you know, we're all traumatized at some point, but let's just say I needed to hear that in the moment and feel I could be going through whatever I'm going through, and you know what? Sometimes we just need to be acknowledged. We need to know that we're loved. We need to, you know, it's like coming home and our loved one, our partner, you know, she who sees us as Superman, we walk out and we come back out. She comes with the needle and thread and she sews that S properly back on my chest. So with that being said, now in the next minute, yeah, but you Black man, Now again, Chocolate, Artists Up. This is not, again, this is not about you. It's not me coming at you, but I'm saying this is to confirm what you're saying, JP.
Yeah.
Like, because this is the healing that's needed. And
Yeah.
the reason why I brought that up, because it's so subtle. Because I want that message. It resonated with
You
me,
wanted it to resonate.
and I want to walk away with that. I don't want to just immediately feel I got it. No. It's not about a back and forth.
No,
I'm confirming.
I mean, I'm loved by.
No.
There's many black men who love me.
Whoa. That's just to
I
pay your
did
rent, girl.
not
What's wrong with you?
say
That's just to
in
pay your
that
rent.
way. I did not say that. Let's remember, folks, we are on the line with comedians, okay?
Yeah.
Here. So when the jokes come out, don't take it like that.
No, well, this is what
So I am loved by many of black men in my life. Love me dearly. I'm not saying, I'm not all jaded and saying that I'm not loved and black men don't love black women, but I'm saying they don't love black women as well.
What you just witnessed is when Chocolate Shy said something, it was a trigger to her emotions, and she said what she said. But then what she said is a trigger to your emotions, Breeze, and you said what you said because you wanted to feel the love.
He wanted to feel the love because that's something. But you know what? And I want to say this. I am a black woman, 49, that's a heterosexual woman. I have had some of the worst things happen to me by the hands of black men. I have been molested. I have been raped. But with all of that, I am a mother who birthed 2 sons here. I am a grandmother of 4 sons. So I had to heal me so that I don't take out on them the aggressions of what certain men did to me. I cannot take that pain and use it against all men. So that's where the therapy and the healing came in. And for me to I have ran programs where I was dealing with men that were child molesters. So when my perspective is, ladies, we have been hurt, and I'm not taking away about our hurts, but I do know too that all men can't be blamed from that, and we got to heal from that because we are the mothers of the universe. So when you are a mother, you got to deal with your pain so that you can deal with your son. But if you inflict on your son the pains of his father, you have destroyed the whole thing. Yeah. You have made the situation, you put your pain on your son for what his father did. And we have continued the pain and putting it on each other and blaming each other when we all have been traumatized. That's what I'm saying. So I'm never taking away the pain that a black woman feel, because I have felt some of the most excruciating pain from black men, but I also have been loved by black men.
Yes. Hold on for one second. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy JP Justice. Now, guess what? This is a new segment to the show, and I want to thank you guys. For tuning in. We're not finished with our conversation. We're going to keep our conversation going on offline, but I want you guys to be prepared and ready, because when conversations like this go on, this will be the extras that will be on our Patreon page that you guys can come and support us on. So right now, I want to thank you guys for coming out. In closing, Breeze, anything you want to say real quick?
Well, first and foremost, thank our guests, our estrogen side, whatever. How I'm not putting labels on anybody, but I can definitely appreciate all of us, all of our input here. And again, this conversation does continue.
It's going to continue right now.
It does continue. It's going to continue right now, as you state. But it's really, like I said, I'm keeping my emotions. I'm trying my best to stay balanced. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. But this is a lot to process. Mm-hmm. This is a lot, and I'm talking from each of us, from all that's happening and so forth. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all for this conversation today.
Definitely. Anything you want to say in closing? Don't leave, Breeze. Don't leave.
Right. Yeah, you gotta tell me not to leave, because you already know. Yeah. No, and listen, I'm wishing everybody all I'm asking, honestly speaking.
I just want you to say goodbye to the people so I want to end this live and we can keep our conversation going.
Okay, well, listen. Move with wisdom. This is Khayree Jannah, aka Cool Breeze, aka Jeje Puele, Perfect Dupuis, Mafina Baptiste, Jean-Pierre.
Anything you want to say in closing? We just gonna cut off the live. I just want people to get accustomed to being able to come to the Patreon for the extra stuff. Anything you want to say to the people real quick before you close out, Chocolate?
Yeah, I want to tell us to love each other. Love, 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 love. Put if you ain't able to get involved on the front lines, share on your page. Just do what you can, and show love, because that's what we need to do for one another is love on each other.
Yes, ma'am. Anything you want to say in closing to the people before we close out, cut out the live?
Yes, so it's your girl artist up, and I'm just here letting you know that love really is love, and understand how change can be made. Let's bulldoze through this cement and put local elected officials in place who actually care about the community and the people. Right
Yes.
in Shaniqua Charles.
Yes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy JP Justice, man. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. We're going to continue this conversation over on our Patreon page. I want y'all to start getting used to knowing that when good conversations like this go on and exclusive conversations and exclusive interviews, it will be going on our Patreon page. Tell a friend to come and subscribe to our page right here at Unfiltered Talk Therapy each and every Tuesday between 11 and 1 p.m. Whoo, you guys have been outstanding. Now, hold on. Here's the thing about this thing. I never know how to turn this off. You know that? Never know how to turn off the live. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not turning off the conversation. I'm just turning off the live. And I think this is the button right here. Boom. Out of here.